Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Noelle and we are in the run-up to the Chicago Ball, which I am very excited about. This video is going to probably be even more chaotic than normal because I have a very chaotic week going on for you guys. The first part I have is that I'm going to LA. I'm going to go to a couple exhibits. One is to see the FIDM Motion Picture Academy costumes exhibit that they have going, which I'm very excited about, and so I filmed the whole thing for you. I've already gone and come back, so it's all filmed for you. I also went to the Inspiring Disney exhibit, which is supposed to be about items that inspired Disney's aesthetic to make his cartoons the way they are. There's a lot more Disney ephemera there than I expected, actually, so a lot of it is Disneyana. So there's that. I also filmed like kind of an epic car chats situation, which I do feel like I need to edit down. Anyway, I filmed a chats in the car just to see if car chats would work, so I'm gonna include that for you guys. I'll probably put that towards the end though for anybody who wants to stick around for it. And then I also have 2 days to get ready to go to Chicago, which includes packing, but I have a number of things that I need to get done, so I'm gonna cover those in the vlog as well. And then I'm going to end this vlog and I'm going to start a new one for going to Chicago. For those people who are interested in some but not all of that, which I know could be many of you, I will put timestamps down below so that you know what is where and like what you can expect to see in what part of the video. Okay, so the first exhibit I went to is the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, FIDM. They exist in San Francisco, I think, and LA. There might be another location as well. They put on 2 costume exhibits every year. They put on more than that, but they put on 2 ones that I'm super interested in. One is the Motion Picture Academy, so movies, and the other one is the Television Academy, so TV shows. It is currently Sunday, but I drove down on Friday to LA to visit a friend. We had a great dinner. We had a whole bunch of really good tacos. We went to see Ant-Man. It was great. The next day we got up to see these 2 exhibits. If you'd like to go to the FIDM exhibit, that is running I think until May 6th, probably. Check that, but I think it is running until then, and it's free. I think it's not open on Sundays. Then I went to the Inspiring Disney exhibit at the Huntington Gardens. That is ending the next weekend after this vlog is posted, so if you're not already in LA, it's probably pretty like unlikely you can get to go see that, but I did film all the stuff in it, so it's here for you if you'd like to see that. The lighting was bad in both of these things is what I will say, so like I did the best I could. Also, if you are a Patreon member, I took extra photos, close-up photos, you know, still photography for you, and I will be putting those up for you guys in probably when I get back from Chicago, because it's a lot of stuff. I want to look at them, and if I need to edit them, whatever. So I'll put this up for you guys soon though, so that you guys have access to those and close-ups of any of the costumes in case you're interested in remaking them. Alrighty, we are ready to start sewing, finishing the last of the things up. So let's go over the board and see what we need to do. Okay, the thing on this list is decorate the bodice March 22nd. I also need to put the swag sleeves on my bodice, so they're both on here. This is like, get this done. Really, they should be here. Like, I don't know why they're there. We also have stretch goals, so I need to bustle my bustle. I need to sew the pleats on the overskirt, maybe. I want to reinforce some boning, which I made some bad decisions, which I'll tell you about. I need to bead Lynn's bag, maybe, and put some her hooks and eyes on her cape. So a lot of this stuff won't take very long. I think this stuff probably takes the longest. However, the first thing I should do is do this reinforce the boning, because it'd be better if the bodice wasn't decorated when I did that, just in case. I don't know what I think it'd just be easier, so I'm going to do that first. I chose to use the taffeta to go ahead and make the casings for this boning. That was a grave error. I think it's kind of fine when it's the plastic boning. So far here, nothing's happening. These ones are all capped, like they have a top and bottom on them, so even if they popped out, that would be fine. But both of these are the metal boning that is spiral steel. And both of them have popped out already. So it's capped on the bottom. So what I think I'm going to do is actually just take a piece of this tape, because I have more of this tape, and just like cut a little chunk out and put it here. So that way, if this pops out again, it is still contained. And I think that would make me feel better. Like, I don't really want to go and have that happen. So I think I'm just gonna patch a little patch on there for right now. I think these are fine for right now. I might bring some extra tape just so, like, in case it happens, I can do it there. But I think it's okay so far. Noelle's favorite hobby of filming black on black. Here's a little patch I made. Right, just gonna sew that right over there. And then pray to the gods that this all stays together just fine. I think it's fine, like, it's structurally great. It's just that this taffeta likes to get, like, it's not particularly, like, tight. I mean, it is tightly woven. I don't know. It wasn't long enough. I don't know what I did wrong. But I'm putting that on there. Okay, we got little patches in there, so I feel more secure about that. Lynn thinks I should do the sleeves first, so we're going to do the sleeves first. Okay, next up we have the swags. This sits farther back on my shoulder than it does here, so it's more like maybe that. Lynn eyeballed it, so I need to put these pins in the same place on the other side. And then this is where the swag will go, between these two pins and these two pins. And in order to make this happen so it drapes here but then drapes down more, so it's not just like across, so it like drapes, you have to make essentially, what is this word? A rhombus? Yes, a parallelogram. Those are both accurate, I think. Math teachers, correct me if I'm incorrect. I'm pulling on information from, let's just say, 25 years ago. Okay, so the top is going to be like 8 and this is 3/4. I don't know, I might make it 9. I don't know. And then the bottom is 15 and however much more, and then the sides are also 15. The length of this is what determines how far it drips down. So it'll drip down essentially 7.5 inches minus the width. Hi, math teachers are like, oh, you're explaining this so bad. But hopefully, and then these get pleated up. So this is all actually just going to get squashed. So the top will hang like a little bit, and the bottom will hang more. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to do it right now, right there, so you can see. I also talked to Constance about working with silk chiffon, because I've never done that before, and let me tell you, it kind of stresses me out. And she taught me her secret, like, Hollywood magic trick of how to sew the hems of it. So you sew a straight line, maybe with tissue paper underneath, on the line you want to hem, and then you press it up at that line, so it's up, and you cut it as close as you can to that stitching line without, like, releasing it from the fabric, and then you zigzag that with a tiny little zigzag. So I'm going to do a test piece, obviously. I'm not gonna just try that on the thing, but I'm gonna do a test first to see how that hem goes, and if it goes well, we're just gonna execute this thing. Okay, so we have one sample. This edge is a bit like sturdy, like aggressively stiff. It doesn't drape how I would want it to. So I'm gonna try it again with like a longer stitch length and see if that helps. If it doesn't, I might just go with, you know, the line essentially stitched on it and then trimmed it down. We'll see. Okay, that's a no because it leaves those bumps there. All right, so this is cotton thread. So I think what I'm gonna do is try it with silk thread and see if that improves the texture in like the smaller stitch length and see if that improves the texture. And if it does, I will load that up. Okay, this is what it is like with just a straight line stitched on it at 2 millimeters. This feels fairly flexible, and I just sewed a straight edge and then pressed it up right on the line and then trimmed it as close as possible. She said that this would be fine, but if you really want to make it good, you do the zigzag. So I will try that one more time. Okay, this obviously not awesome edge is where I tried to do it with like the zigzag with paper under it. That's a bad idea. I did do the zigzag here. It is also still very like stiff. Like it has not good drapey quality. So I think the best thing I can do, especially probably on both edges, is just to run just the line of stitching and cut it as close as I can and call it good. So I think that is what's going to happen here. I'm going to go ahead and go cut my rhombus and hem up the edges. All right, I have made a swag and I have cartridge pleated one section on. So this is 1 of 4. And I need to go take the other side and get that in, but I also lost a little bit of the hem here, so I gotta figure out. I think I'm just gonna like whip stitch that because there's just nothing I'm doing about it at this point. So this guy just needs to get attached onto there, and then nope, not there, sorry, there. And then I'll have one on, and it's on the side that the flowers go on, so I think I might break at the point of this being attached and then attach some flowers because I need to break from these swags. This has taken me a really long time, like way longer than I expected / have time for, but it will look good. Like it's pretty. So I don't know what that is. This white stuff, I think it's just like fluff. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it and get this guy attached and then put on some flowers. Okay, we have one little guy, swaggy swag here. It's vaguely see-through. It's on. I'm good with it. I have nothing further to say about it. I'm at the point where I don't have anything further to say, period. Okay, so I'm gonna put, this is my right side, and my hair decoration is going on my right side, which means my hair curls are coming down my left side, which means I need to put my flowers on my right side. So I'm gonna go ahead and decorate this area. Oh, I love filming black things. It's really the best. Okay. Trying to film black things. This is very hard to see because it's deforming the shape. It's also like black on black on black on black on black against white, which doesn't help. There, maybe I'll just add a little pink in there to give it a hand. Anyway, this is my pattern I'm going with. I like it. I'm going to use it. That's what's happening. All right, here are these guys. If you hear a bunch of noise, that's because it's pouring rain outside. This batch here is all sewn on. I need to do this batch, which is a little harder because they're tighter. This swag is on. So it's the next day. It's Tuesday. I have to leave tomorrow. I'm a little stressed. I'm gonna not lie here. It's crazy outside. It's just like it's storming so hard. So I had a friend have a little, wow. So I had a friend have a little emergency last night, and I had to go rescue 3 hours later. So I was 3 hours of sew time yesterday, which was a bummer. because I feel like I could be way farther than I am now and I still need to pack. Like I haven't packed a drip. I do have a packing list though, so hopefully that helps make things go faster. I find packing lists help make things go faster because then you just go get the thing and bring it back and put it in the hole. So, okay. Anyway, I am just gonna grind and get as much of this done as possible. Some of it is gonna happen there. That's fine. Everybody has sewing to do. So some of the things on my stretch goal list will happen there. We'll see. Okay, yay, we have all of these attached. What if I zoom in more? There you go. You can see them a little bit better. Yay, we have all these attached. Little silk poppies. Fun times. I think they look great. I'm very happy with them. They occasionally wobble around, but I'll just fix them. Okay, we can cross this guy off at least. I'm gonna go try to finish this one now. I thought you guys might like to know how I'm doing the swag. Okay, so as you can see, long, long, short. So this is the top of the swag, that's the bottom of the swag. I sewed a line with some tissue paper on the back, and then I went ahead and took the stuff that was the selvage edge and folded it up and ironed it, and then I trimmed it as close to that line as I felt comfortable. I got too close on the other one. I had to like do some creative hem making. We're just not going to talk about that. So then I get this line. You can zigzag it. It makes it stiff though. If it was like at the bottom of a dress, yes, 100% do that. Bottom of a sleeve, sure. This thing, because I need it to drape really well, no. So then I folded the sides over, both to the same side, right? So they're both on the same side. And then ironed them. And then what I'm going to do is mark a 1/4 inch marks here. I'm going to take 2 needles at one time and feed it on, basically, to make cartridge pleats. Squish it down and then sew it on. Okay, the second one is on. So we have all decorations on the thingy, and I think it's getting time to pack. I want to pin the pleats real quick and get that all set up, but I'm gonna pin first so it's all done, so then I can pack the bustle cage, because you kind of got to pin it over the bustle cage, and then I can pack everything else and just work on that tonight. Okay, that's done. Okay, so here's what I mean. When you just throw this on, the pleats, actually this is supposed to go like that. The pleats just are kind of a mess here, so I'm gonna like separate them out so that they're nice and they lay right, and then gently tack them from the back, because we want it to look more like this than that mess. So I'm just gonna pin them. I'm not gonna go too far forward with it because that starts tempting fate, but I'm gonna lay them a little bit better and then pin them in. Okay, I have them pinned and I'm just gonna gently tack them from the back side. I've also pinned up the back. You may be able to see right there and right there and right there are some points at which I'm going to attach maybe little loops to the inside of the edge, and then put some ties in, just tack them in so like we can go through the loop and just tack it up so it can be hoisted up and fluffed and then it doesn't drag on the ground. Okay, I am as packed as I can be without putting this stuff in because I need, like, part of it is my sewing kit and all that stuff. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish up what I can of these stretch goals, since it's like 8:15 or something, so I have some time that I can dedicate to this. So I did eliminate that like idea of me being able to put the hooks and eyes on the cape because I packed the cape already, so that one's out. And I think I'm probably gonna bead the bag there, so that's probably the case. So I'm gonna try to get the bustled and the pleats tacked down now, and then cross those off, call it good, pack everything in here up for that, and then scoot. By the way, I did want to mention I've gotten like an absurdly large number, and by that I mean like 6 or 7 questions about where I get my mat, where my Amazon store is, all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, it's in the description below. It's always in the description below of every video. Also, guys, you should look at the descriptions below on every video you watch, because frequently the people who are making those videos are spending a lot of time writing stuff up for you that's like sometimes supplementary information, sometimes links to things, whatever. in their descriptions. So those are useful. So always check those if you are wondering like if I mentioned something. I almost always link it down below. Alrighty, plates are tacked and ready to go. Other side also tacked, so that's good. Gonna work on this bustle situation. It's weird because once you take the skirts off, the bustle tries to like scoop under. I'm like, stop that. So it doesn't look quite right, but whatever. Okay, we got these guys in. So you're probably like, hey Noelle, what's that? These are like old-timey safety pins that I got. And honestly, I was like, hey, I could just use that. So I am. And then there's just some really thin white tape. Did I consider using black? Yes. Did I want to make it easy on whoever was gonna bustle this for me? Yes, I did. Okay, so we can cross this off. And then, oh, we get to do something else cool. We get to do this. I haven't done this in a long time. This pen's not gonna match, but there we go. Getting there. We're getting there, guys. Okay, so the other two things that Lynn gave me homework for, I'm gonna do like on the plane / when I get there, and I think that's fine. We're having a sewing day Thursday anyway, so I think that's gonna be absolutely fine. I feel like this is where in a normal video I'd be like, here it is, here's the final thing. Unfortunately, I packed it all. So yeah, I have the whole thing ready to go. I'm very excited. I am gonna leave car chats at the end of this video so that anybody who wants me to talk about random TV shows or whatever, that's gonna be there. If you don't want to, you can skip right after this part. Anyway, as always, anyway, I am off to Chicago tomorrow. I'm very excited. I'm gonna go pack this stuff up and get ready for bed, watch episode 2 of Ted Lasso because it's there and it's ready for me, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm also very excited because Abby's going and we both love Ted Lasso, and then we can talk about Ted Lasso together. It'll be fun. Anyway, the next video will be of Chicago, so I guess I'll see you tomorrow when I get on the plane. As always, leave me messages, let me know how things are going, let me know what you're working on, what you're listening to, what you're watching. I don't know if I mentioned this maybe before, but I'm listening to the Dresden Files because it is a comfort read for me and I love it. I started on book 10 because I feel like I listen to it every time a new book comes out, so I've listened to those first ones like 16 or 17 times. It's okay for me to just start on 10. There's still 7 more to go and they're very, very long, so I am just gonna go forth from there. They're located in Chicago, which is why I'm listening to them, because also, you know, comfort read, but also they're in the location of the place I'm going. So anyway, leave me messages, let me know about your stuff, and I will see you guys next time with the Chicago vlog. Bye guys! Hello! I am in the car. I don't normally film in the car, but I have this camera holder from my car so I can drive the car and talk to you. So if I'm looking over there, which you can't see because I have sunglasses on anyway, right? That's what's happening. I am driving to LA. I am currently obviously sitting at a gas station. I just kind of wanted to go over like what's happening this weekend. So I am going down to LA for the weekend to see a friend and hang out. We're gonna have a whole bunch of tacos. Like that's the plan. We're gonna go see Ant-Man tonight, so there's not gonna be a lot of video today. But tomorrow we're gonna go see the Motion Picture Academy like costume situation at FIDM, and then we're gonna go over to the Huntington Gardens where they have this like exhibit that is stuff that inspired Disney. So it's like a bunch of Victorian French things. They didn't have Queen Victoria, they had their own, anyway, from that period, but in France, I think. I don't know, we're gonna see, and if I can possibly record that for you, I'm going to, and so that is why I'm introing what's happening here. I perhaps will film my tacos, we'll see. I'm going to this place called Guisados, which I really love. I hate to blow it up, but I don't think there's a million people here that are from LA, so it's fine. Guisados is the bomb. It's how would I describe that? Like stew meat tacos, like all their meats are stew. There's definitely a word for that kind of taco that I don't have in my memory right now, but they're so good. And then tomorrow we're gonna go to Home State. Home State has, I think, 3 or 4 locations. Anyway, they have really good breakfast tacos. I just went to Sonic and had a breakfast burrito, so evidently it's like taco and burrito weekend. So anyway, should be a fun one-day trip. I'm coming back tomorrow night, so like I'm driving down today and driving back tomorrow. It is 5.5 hours from where I live to Los Angeles. So the drive is like bad, but not horrible. Yeah. Anyway, let's start driving and see what happens. Anyway, I thought I would try to do Noel chats while I'm in the car. It's kind of early for that, but maybe I'll stick this at the end of the video for you. I am watching The Last of Us, which I think I have mentioned. For those of you who are not into, I don't like horror films, but a zombie situation is okay. I did not watch Walking Dead. I'm watching The Last of Us, which I am enjoying, and seems to be Pedro Pascal's like lot in life to play a man who is stoic, who is guiding a child to a location. That is all I will tell you about it, other than there's like zombies in it. They're not, I would argue those aren't zombies, but okay. I have a very strict definition of zombie. Anybody want to go toe to toe on that one? I have many a friend conversation that people get uppity and start arguing about what constitutes a zombie. I do not believe, I believe you have to be dead to be a zombie. Like that's where my hard line is. So like 28 days later, not zombies. Because those people are infected with a disease that makes them zombie-like, not zombies. So then you also always obviously have these slow-moving versus fast-moving zombies. Like, I don't discriminate against zombies. I don't gatekeep the speed of zombies. Like, either one of those is fine with me. Obviously, if I was in a world, I would prefer maybe slow-moving zombies, because fast-moving zombies seem real scary. Slow-moving zombies are scary, but like, you have a chance of outrunning them at least, I guess. I don't know. I'm the person that would run towards the zombies because I don't want to watch all my friends die. And also, I like brains. And I occasionally nom people a little bit. Like, if I really like you, I might give you a little, I don't know. So, I feel like the zombie life might be for me. Anyway, I would argue that this show does not have real zombies on it. It has infected people. People have been taken over, but that's it. Not zombies. Anyway, it's very good. It's very story driven, less zombie driven than I was expecting. I guess probably The Walking Dead is like that too. I famously say that I stopped watching Walking Dead in like episode 2. I don't know, there's 2 chicks on a boat talking to each other a lot about their father for the entire episode, and I was like, no, I don't want this level of storytelling. I want zombies in my zombie film. It's why I watched Buffy, because I watched like the first episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and I'm like, oh my god, there's an actual body count in this. I love it. Let's watch it. There's actual vampires doing actual damage. Let's do it. I'm not a suspense, am I a suspense thriller person? Yes. Am I a suspense horror person? No, I don't like the like creeped out just waiting for it to happen thing. Like, come at me, bro. Like, I would rather see the carnage. I don't like gore. I think that's the thing. I don't mind horror, but I don't like gore. So, like slasher films, maybe that's okay, as long as they're not too gory. Complicated thoughts on genres of scary films. Oh my gosh. Guys, okay, so if you're not on the Ted Lasso bandwagon, let me just tell you, you should get on that bandwagon. If you're here with me, you like wholesome things. I can just tell that about you already. Ted Lasso is so wholesome and also very intriguing. It is in fact a show about football, soccer. It is so good. Do recommend. It is not about football, soccer, although you will learn a little bit about it, but not actually very much. They don't actually play the game very often. It's mostly like life lessons and stuff. It's such a good show. There is mad intrigue in it. There is betrayal. There's all the things in it, and it still is super wholesome. So do recommend. Love it. It is back on with season 3. The guy who plays Ted Lasso is the person who like developed the show, and it's a 3-season arc. So their claim is that the show is over after this season. There's been a whole bunch of the people that are on the show that are like, we do not want this to end. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know if it really is going to end this season. I don't know if they will have spin-off shows with some of the other characters, stuff like that. Although I think the ensemble cast is really what makes that, so I don't know how spin-offs would do. Like, I don't know if I would enjoy them as much, but maybe, depending on who it was and what it was about. There are people that you will fall in love with on the show, and Ted Lasso, the main character, is also just like the best. Just the best. I don't know how to explain him, except he's like if Flanders were awesome. Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. Yeah, so anyway, I mean, kind of Ned Flanders is awesome. I have that controversial opinion. I'm like, Ned Flanders doesn't get enough love. That guy is just like a really good neighbor. Anyway, thumbs up. Do recommend. I am about to start a book called, one moment, 10,000 Doors of January. Recommended by one of you guys, actually. If you were that person, hit me up in the comments and let me know that was you. I asked for recommendations at one point, and a lot of you made recommendations, and I went through them all, and I added the ones I wanted to my list, and now I have this item. So it sounds amazing and like a book I would like based on the description. I have to say though that I like ethereal books, I guess is the way to put that. There is a book called The Starless Sea and another one called The Night Circus, and those are by the same person, and you either love that book or you hate it, as far as I can tell. Like, people are either like, yes, this was magical and I get it and I love it, and you spend most of the book being vaguely confused and feel like you're in a dream, like a good dream, but a dream, and then it kind of culminates at the end and everything comes together and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, there is cohesion somewhere in this book, but it does take a very long time and you're floating through it in a really weird way. To both of those books, and this book kind of, from the description, strikes me as similar to that, so I'm excited to read that. I'm also going to Chicago, which of course makes me want to read Dresden Files books again. I usually read the Dresden Files books like once a year, although there are 16 of them now. The last two were really long. I feel like I've read the first like section of that 16 books like 5 or 6 times, and the Dresden Files books are really interesting because they're the only books I think I've ever read where the books get significantly better as you go on. Like, not only does the author like find the voice and learn to write the person and also whatever, but every like 3 or 4 books the world just like opens up, and then it opens up, and then it opens up, and you find out things that have been getting set up for the last 10 books, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe he set this up this long. Like, I don't know if he did it on purpose or he just happened to like lay down clues and then pick them up randomly and weave them back into the story somehow, but like, it's great. So the point I'm trying to make is that I might read them again, but I might start on book like 10, because reading the last 6, first of all, the last 6 are the best 6, I think. There's one earlier that I think is pretty epic, but it's also like kind of traumatic. But the last 6 are meaty and very interesting. Anyway, the reason that it's relevant that I'm going to Chicago and I want to read the Dresden Files books is that that is obviously set in Chicago. So I am excited to go see that town with my friends next week, and we're gonna, you know, go to a few museums. I'm considering getting a piercing. Morgan called up and was like, hey, does anybody want to go to the piercing parlor with me? And I was like, I might want to do that. Let's ponder that. So probably as you guys are watching this video, I am already in Chicago filming the next video. I will be there filming with everyone, and I'll probably just vlog the whole thing, and as much as I can, like as much as is cool. So you guys will basically get to go on that trip with us. The only part that I'm actually like weirdly not sure about how I will film is like the ball, because I kind of want to attend it. Like, I don't want to just be filming the whole thing. I'll go get some B-roll for sure, but I also don't know about lugging my camera to this thing when I'm in a ball gown, and like where am I going to put that, and like whatever. And I do have a bag, but it's much too small for this. So I'm pondering filming those segments on my iPhone, and like, you get what you get about that. So that is a thing that might go down. Like, there might be a segment that is filmed on my iPhone. However, I've inserted iPhone clips into my videos before and like literally no one noticed, so I don't think that matters. So that video should be super fun. If you guys are interested, it will be the next video that I post on here for you. And then, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I do know what I'm gonna do because I have stuff on my board, but like, I could do any of those things, like at any point. It's crazy. I do not have a specific goal. I've had a specific set of goals for the whole first part of this year because I had to do those pattern tests and whatever. I do have a pattern test that I should do for Michelle of Clockwork Fairy. She gave me her stays pattern to test for her in my size. Do I need another pair of stays? No. Am I gonna make these stays anyway? Probably. I also have another corset to make because I wanted to make the updated pattern for my Pretty Housemaid corset. The one that I made is gorgeous and I love it and it fits really well and it's very comfortable and whatever. I would like it in a cooler fabric. The problem is because it's a wearable mock-up, it's made out of like quilting cotton, so it's like already starting to rub around the bones. Like, should I be flossing that? 100%. Am I gonna floss that? Yeah, I'm gonna floss that as practice, certainly, for the nice one that I'm gonna make. And then I'll make a nice one, and I probably won't ever actually wear it where I could be like possibly sweaty on it or any of the things that so this whole thing is stupid. Like, why am I like this? I make a cotton one that I'm perfectly capable of wearing and not worrying if I destroy it because it's just cotton, and then I want the fancy one so that I have a final version and I'm never gonna wear it because like who wants to get sweat all over that nice corset? Maybe I'm just gonna make it and I'll just do it anyway. I'll live my best bougie life. Who knows how long we'll be on this planet? I should just wear satin. Also satin. Like, do I... satin's so wrinkly. So wrinkly. I do have a bunch of taffetas too that I could make one out of. I could make more than one. I guess there's no reason why I have to limit myself here to just the next one. Sigh. And then I have all these quarterly goals that I have like set up for myself. Like, I want to read through one book, which I did read through a Francis Grimble book, but it's not really like a read through kind of thing because it's a bunch of patterns and then descriptions of patterns, so you're not going to read 400 pages of that, but I've like absorbed what's in that book, so I have done that kind of, although I think I would prefer to like deep dive into something else also. We'll see. And then I want to also take a class because I have paid for all these online classes that exist out in the world and I haven't taken them. Sigh. So probably April I'm gonna try to take some of those classes and read some of those books and do that kind of stuff just to like, I don't know, why do I have this whole library of books if I'm not gonna read them, right? So like, I mean, they are good reference, like lots of them are good reference, and the picture books especially, like I'm not really that worried about because those are just for like looking at. Anyway, alright, I feel like this is probably enough chatter from me for the end of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the chatter, please in your comments, or go into the comments, whatever. If you were already going to leave a comment, add it to it. If you weren't, go leave a comment. And tell me if you enjoyed the chats. Only tell me if you did enjoy it. Like, I don't really need to hear from you if you didn't enjoy it, because you shouldn't be here anyway, because I told you to go away by now. Alright, I'll see you guys later.